Hey guys, so this reading is one that I've been guided to do kind of slowly over the past few weeks. I've been getting information for this reading. So, of course, the reading, as you saw in the title, is about who, who is it who misses you and wants to hear from you. So anyone reading this can choose one of these reading options and get a message out of it that answers that question. That said, I do want to say that what I've been guided to say to you all is that if you know someone who particularly likes one of these artists' songs or albums, and you know that about them, that's the reading that you should pick because that is the person who's missing you and wanting to hear from you. So, and these were really guided, to me. Like, I don't know that much about Trent Reznor. I mean, especially what he does separate from Nine Inch Nails, and I don't know much at all about Nas either. So these are just, these are artists that came to me. And then Miley Cyrus, specifically the song Malibu. Um, so anyway, so this would be reading number one, which is Trent Reznor. So specifically the album A Tribute to Nine Inch Nails, but also just Trent Reznor in general. It could also be someone who you connect with Nine Inch Nails, and not him as a separate artist. And also, so the cover art for that album, hopefully this will show up. Let me see. OMG. Okay, so the cover art for that album. Okay. So the colors aren't showing up right, but I feel like the person who wants to hear from you kind of looks like this woman for some of you. So if you know someone who looks similar to that in some way, I mean, I would hope that she doesn't have a bloody, bruised up face, scarred up face, but maybe the hair is similar or the facial features. So that's someone who wants to hear from you. And if you reach out to that person, they would be glad to hear from you. Also, that's the reading you should choose because we'll get more into the message from them as well. I feel like there was something else I wanted to say about that, but I can't think of it. I mean, this isn't going to be for all of you. For all, some of you, you might know someone who you associate with liking Trent Reznor's music and they don't look like that. That's still the reading that you want to pick. But if specifically you know someone who looks like that, then that's even more confirmation to me that that person wants to hear from you. So the second reading is Miley Cyrus, specifically the song Malibu. And I'm noticing, when I wrote this. Anyway, specifically the song Malibu keeps occurring, but also in general, if you know someone who's a big fan of hers, the person is wanting to hear from you, or just someone who you associate with Miley Cyrus, maybe. And so for reading number 3, it's Nas. And I was guided specifically to the song I Gave You Power, and we'll talk about the lyrics to both of these songs when we get to the reading. Also the album it was written. But, also just in general Nas, if you know someone who you know is really into Nas, that person wants to hear from you. Also, if it helps you, if none of that has anything to do with you, like I said, you can still get something out of the reading. You can pick based on one of these artists that you really like yourself, or you can pick based on the gemstone. Here we have a green calcite. This is Dalmatian jasper for number 2, and this is a chunk of citrine for reading number 3. So I know that was a little bit of a longer intro than usual. Thank you for sticking through that. The timestamps will be in the description and at the top of the comments, so go ahead and choose your reading. All right, reading number 1, you're actually starting at the 444 timestamp, so that might be significant to some of you. If 444 is a number you resonate with, it is also just in general a master number. Okay, so the first reading is going to be for the folks who chose Trent Reznor and the Green Calcite. So like I said in the intro, some of you may already know who this reading is about because you do associate them with Trent Reznor. For other people, we're going to use these Carolyn Mize archetype cards to learn more about who this person is who wants to hear from you. The other decks we're using are the Klimt Tarot and the Love Bombs Kindness cards. All right, so I'm going to start out with the archetype cards. Again, just to get an idea. Okay, I just dropped my deck into the floor. But we're just going to get an idea of who this person is. I'm just going to choose, let's see, 3 of these that are wanting to come out. I'm going to pause for just a moment. Okay. So I'm trying to be more grateful in this new year of ours, 2019, and I think one of my gratitudes lately is my ability to pause a recording when it's in progress. For those times when, for instance, I drop my cards all over the floor. So anyway, we're going to look at these archetype cards to get a sense of who it is who wants to connect with you. Now, if you already know who it is, then just take that. You don't have to pay too much attention to this, although it may confirm who you already know is wanting to speak, to connect with you, to hear from you. Okay, so we get Engineer, Child Eternal, or I would put it Eternal Child, and then Mystic. Okay, so the light attributes here of the Engineer are an ability to give creative energy a practical expression, talent for designing resolutions to common dilemmas. Shadow attributes relying on mechanistic solutions without regard for emotional consequences. So I get, my feeling from all 3 of these is, first of all, I think, and I'll read more of these as we go on, but I think this is someone who's very intelligent. They might even be involved in the sciences or some kind of, they might be in engineering or something that is like technological or something like that. Maybe also someone who's interested in, I always look at this and to me, it makes me think of, for some reason, like space travel. I don't know why, but if that rings any bells for anyone. Also maybe people who have had past lives on starships. I know that sounds a little weird and probably you wouldn't know that about someone, but maybe if someone seems just a little bit odd, a little bit freaky, a little bit off the wall, someone who you might suspect would fit in on a Star Trek spaceship or that kind of thing, that kind of personality. Maybe someone kind of like, whether they're male or female, who has the personality of Data from Star Trek, The Next Generation, like, someone who has a very literal interpretation of things, maybe even someone who has Asperger's or just, they come at things from a more mental space than an emotional space. That doesn't mean that they're not emotional, but this person tends to process things internally in a more thinking-oriented way. And then we also have Eternal Child. It says, determination to remain young in body, mind, and spirit, ability to see things with fresh eyes. I think this is someone who embraces life in more or less a joyful way. When they're not getting in their head too much, they are able to do that. I think they bring they light up a room when they enter it. I get that feeling from them as well. So with the Mystic, someone who revels in intimate union with the divine. The shadow attribute is delusional rapport with the divine. So I do get someone who's kind of spacey, and this person might have mystical, spiritual leanings or beliefs that are maybe a little bit, just not mainstream religious beliefs. Maybe they're into metaphysics or it could Could also be someone who's into like science fiction or even like just fantastic ideas about future, space age, technology, things like that. But they're lighthearted too. I feel like they can be very serious in their heads, and this is someone who processes things very rapidly, intellectually, and they can come to these like quick conclusions about things. They make connections between different areas of knowledge, and because of that, they're able to understand things or like come to certain kinds of awareness or insight that maybe other people wouldn't be able to come to. So anyway, I think they're a very intelligent person. Let's see what it is. So hopefully that's ringing some bells for you. Let's use the Klimt Tarot here to see. I'm going to try to shuffle quietly. I've been chastised before for shuffling too loudly. I get it though. Let's see. So, what does this person want to say to you? We get Seven of Swords, Queen of Swords. So I get again, like this is someone who is very smart. And then Seven of Pentacles. So on either sides we have sevens, which is funny because it matches up here with, I think, the Engineer, which is very spacey and introspective, and then the Mystic, because the sevens are very internalized, spiritual, introspective energies. Also, it's a very, like I said, a very introverted energy is what I get from this person. And you may not even know that they're an introvert. Some people get confused about what an introvert is, but, because this person, they enjoy being around other people, and other people definitely enjoy being around them. They bring a lot of sunshine into the room. But then, after they spend time with people, I get another card wanting to come out, which is the Five of Wands here. But after they spend a lot of time with groups of people, they do need a lot of time alone to decompress. So you may not see that, or maybe not everyone sees that about them. Because they're not necessarily shy, although they might be. But yeah, they do get along really well with other people. So again, some people get confused about what an introvert means. But I'm just saying this person probably is someone who needs a lot of time in solitude and a lot of time spent in their head. But they do also really enjoy being in groups of people, and other people enjoy them. So anyway, what do they want to say to you? So we have the Seven of Swords, which is a lot of times about people doing things that other people are not aware of, doing something behind someone's back. We get the Queen of Swords, which is also, in the same suit. This is, the Queen of Swords is, I don't want to say selfish per se, but this is someone who, they have no problem acting with their own self-interest in mind. They don't, it doesn't bother them. They're like, well, this is what's right for me. And if you don't like me doing what's right for me, then I'm sorry, but I've got to do what I got to do, It's not necessarily that they're out to hurt anyone, but they're going to live their own values and speak their truth as well. And then we get the Five of Wands. So I feel like there might be an issue between the two of you where maybe there was some conflict related to either you or this person doing just that, what I just spoke about, which is I need to be true to myself. And I also think being true to their self to some extent had to do with, I don't have to tell you everything. I feel like, they were trying to make something happen in their life, perhaps with Engineer, with the Seven of Swords, and they're like, it wasn't necessarily always your business, what I was doing to try to make things happen in my life. I'm an independent person. I feel like I love people, they're saying. I try to treat people respectfully and with love, and I always try to treat you respectfully and with love. But I needed to do my own thing. I feel like they're saying, I'm sorry if I hurt you, in the process. They are getting the sense that they may have hurt you or caused some degree of conflict. Of course, we get the Five of Wands. I'm also getting the Eight of Cups coming out. So I feel like they're saying, I just had to walk away from this situation or get some emotional distance from you. And it was just because I needed to do what was best for me. I think with the Queen of Swords, this may have also been someone who chose to be single. If the person you're thinking of is a love interest or someone you had a relationship with in the past or feelings for like that. So this isn't for everybody, but if that's who this person is to you, I think they chose to be single. So either they chose to leave the relationship or the connection with you, or they chose not to enter in one to begin with because they had other goals. I think for some people, they may have had lofty career goals that they wanted to pursue, and they felt like being with you would inhibit them in some way. Specifically, they may have needed to embark on something related to like science and technology, or something that's more of a left-brained type of career path. And then with the Mystic and the Seven of Pentacles, you know, I feel like this person feels very spiritually connected to you. With the Seven of Pentacles, they're saying it's been a long time. I feel like they're saying it's been a long time since we've seen each other, and I've waited a long time for it to feel right. You know, for us to come back together again or to speak to each other again. All right, so let's see with the Love Bombs kindness cards, if there's any, what else do they want to say here? I love that I can truly be myself with you. And this is someone who really needs to be true to themselves. So that, I'm sure that they really do appreciate that about you. I admire your bravery. They see you as being very brave. Your encouragement has made me stronger. Thank you. You know, so it could be also that you understood their need to do their own thing and forge their own path. Even though it may not have been what you wanted exactly, you may have still encouraged them because you knew that it was ultimately best for them. So I'm going to pull a clarifying card for I admire your bravery. I get two cards. Strength card, which is interesting because the Strength card is about courage and bravery. And then the Magician. They see you being able to really accomplish something that took a lot of courage. It took a lot of strength for you. I get a lot of this reddish orange energy. I feel like it may have been even, you know, they see you being willing to put yourself out there in some way, which, you know, put yourself out in a public way, which would even maybe subject you to ridicule. And they're feeling like, well, you were really brave. You were willing to do what you felt was right for you as well. Even if other people might have judged you for it, you pursued your own dreams in a very passionate way. And they see you as being very, very brave for doing that. So that's their message to you. And let's just pull maybe one card and we'll see if that answers it. Why do they want to hear from you? Well, the card that comes forward is Judgment. So it could be that they feel judged by you, or they felt judged by you. I mean, they felt encouraged as well at some level, but you know, sometimes people have like, there's the part of them that like knows the truth that someone cares about them and wishes them the best. But then there's that other paranoid part of the brain where they're like, yeah, but do they really, you know? So I feel like there's some level of judgment here. They either feel judged by you or maybe they feel like they judged you unfairly. We also get the Nine of Pentacles. Judgment also can be a card of change. The Nine of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords. I have another video called Tarot and the Single Girl. These are two of the single girls of the Tarot. The Queen of Swords and the Nine of Pentacles. So I feel like this person is going through a change regarding, whether or not they want to be single. Again, if this was a romantic connection, this might be someone who wants to reconnect with you because they chose being single before because they wanted to focus on career. But now they have, maybe they've accomplished that or they're past that. And now they're thinking about, actually, I would like maybe to have a fulfilling relationship. For those of you who this is not a love connection, let's see. I think they want to talk about, so we get Judgment and Nine of Pentacles, some kind of change. Let's pull another card. Let's see. We get the Four of Pentacles. So it has to do with money or finances, maybe some kind of change in their financial life. With the Nine of Pentacles, I feel like they do feel safe and secure financially now, but in the Four of Pentacles, they may not have. I think they may also not have felt they had a secure foundation with you before, and they feel things are changing. Like they feel like it would be safe to reconnect with you now. All right, so, and finally, let's get some messages for Spirit for you about, what Spirit wants you to know about the possibility of reaching out to this person. And these are just the indigo angels. We get Mother Mary. You are not alone. Divine timing. Yeah, just the Trent Reznor reference and the image on that CD that I showed you before. Let's see if I can show you again just to remind you. This is awkward. It's on a tripod. Okay. So, like, she looks very unhappy. And my feeling is that this person is really unhappy sometimes. They might suffer with depression, and part of it is because they really miss you, and they want you in their life again. So they're feeling sort of alone. They want to connect with you because they feel alone. I think Spirit is saying perhaps you feel alone without this person either. And with divine timing, the sense is, we had this Seven of Pentacles before about, I've waited a long time for this moment. And it feels to me like the divine timing is, the time is now. And then with Mother Mary, there's just this all-encompassing feeling of, loving, nurturing energy. This person is so broken inside. I feel like they have been cut off from your love, and they miss and need that love so much. Yeah, so I feel like that was a great message, and hopefully, I know that there are some people specifically who needed, the Trent Reznor connection. So I hope that the arrow hit its mark in terms of that. Let me know in the comments. I would be interested to know what that meant for you. All right, so also make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Check out my past videos. See if any of those seem to call out to you for you to watch them. And yeah, I hope you have a great day. I'm going to go ahead and move on. Okay, so this is the reading for those of you who chose Miley Cyrus, Malibu, and the Dalmatian Jasper. The decks that I'm going to be working with today are these Caroline Myers archetype cards, the Klimt Tarot, and then the Love Bombs Kindness cards. We're also going to get a message from Spirit at the end from the Indigo Angels Oracle cards. So, so like I said in the intro, some of you, already know who this is because you already know that you're associating this with the Miley Cyrus. For other people who just chose Miley Cyrus because you like her or because you chose the Dalmatian Jasper or whatever, I'm going to pull some of these archetype cards so we can get a better idea of who it is who's wanting you to reach out to them. And then we're going to get a message from that person to you. And then some messages from Spirit about this connection. So if you already know who the person is, this part of it may or may not resonate for you. For some of you, this might help to confirm that you were right about who this person is. Okay. So first we get prostitute, and let's see what it says here. Accentuates the challenge of surviving without negotiating the power of your spirit. Shadow attribute places material considerations and security above self-empowerment. Thief. Sheds light on the potential wealth within you that can never be stolen. So these are kind of connected in a strange way. Shadow attributes stealing money, creative ideas, affection, and or other powers you think you lack. So stealing things that you think you lack. So it's like these are kind of two sides of the same coin. This is, the prostitute is someone who sells themselves, and a thief is just someone who steals. They just take what they want. So this person sells certain aspects of themselves, and we all do. I mean, even in this Carolyn Maya system, she tells us that all of us have this prostitute archetype as part of our persona. So, I mean, we all sell ourselves in some way. It doesn't necessarily have to be a negative thing. Like I said, the light attributes here are, it accentuates the challenge of surviving without negotiating the power of your spirit. So can you, for example, make a living selling your talents and skills, but without compromising your values or your spirit? So this might be someone who struggled with that. You know, maybe they've struggled with how to survive. You know, basically, how do I survive in life? You know, sometimes I feel like people are taking from me, or people are asking me to compromise my values. That's what I get from this person. And they're like, at other times, it's sort of like I'm the one stealing, you know, maybe even stealing hearts. We have this heart in this person's jacket. And I think this is also someone this is someone who's really struggled. I think it's interesting that this relates to Miley Cyrus. It kind of sounds a little bit like her personality in a way, you know, but it's like someone who's gone through some difficult times, and they've had to learn to value themselves more highly than they have. They may have gone through a significant period of their life where they weren't really truly valuing themselves, and so they were allowing other people to take advantage of them or use them, or they may have been taking advantage of people and using them. You know, it works both ways. Because of their brokenness, I think this is someone who's really had to overcome all of that. And then with the engineer, an ability to give creative energy a practical expression, talent for designing resolutions to common dilemmas. It's really, to me, it seems like it's very similar to Miley Cyrus's energy. So she's been able to take all of this, like, you know, coming, several years ago, and all of a sudden she was, you know, twerking and sticking her tongue out all of the time and being very sexual as a way to move on from that former Hannah Montana persona. She sold her sexuality. She did it because, you know, that's, she's like, I'm going to claim my sexuality. This isn't for someone else to steal. I'll use it, you know, for my own ends. And so to that extent, you know, she's giving creative energy a practical expression. So creatively, through her music, she's been able to express herself. Okay, so we have that. So maybe you have a better sense of who this person is. And let's use the tarot to see, what is this person's message to you? Okay, there might be a little bit of a jump there because I had to stop the previous recording and start a new one. Because if I go over 33 minutes, my camera will automatically start a new video, and when it does that, sometimes and not just that there's like, it kind of like makes a weird, I don't know. It's more than a glitch. So I like to just stop the video. That's what I've started doing if it gets close to 33 minutes. Anyway, that's too much behind the scenes info. So right now what we're doing is we're using the tarot to see what is this person's message to you. Why do they want you to reach out to them? First we get the Queen of Cups or the Queen of Chalices. This is a really pretty card. I like that pretty blue. Try to focus it for you. So Queen of Cups and Prostitute. The Knave, which I believe is the page in this deck. Knave of Cups. So we get a lot of emotions. It's a strong emotional connection. And then the Nine of Pentacles. Okay. Okay, so I feel like they want you to reach out to them. I see them here as the Queen of Cups, and then you here as this page, I believe, of Cups. I feel like they sense that you do care about them. And so they want to hear from you more about how you feel. So that's part of it. They want to hear more about your emotions. They feel sort of turned away from you. So I feel like this person might even to some level be a little bit resentful. It's sort of like, I have extended my own cup of love to you in a tremendous way, and I've just been waiting for you to extend your cup of emotion to me. But I see you here as trying, like you've been trying to extend your cup of emotion to this person, and it feels like they have their back turned to you. So I think this person, they want to hear from you. It's a little bit selfish, in a way, but they're blocking you at the same time. So they do want to hear from you, but I think if you reach out to them, there might be a little bit of hesitation as well. I mean, the Queen of Cups is always going to be a nice person, especially when she shows up upright, and I'm just reading upright readings right now, but she's not going to be mean to you or anything, but there might be a little bit of reservation, or she might withhold a little bit of her own feelings when you do reach out, but she does really care about you. She or he, this person who you're doing this reading, or this person who's coming through to you. Ignore the genders. I'm saying she because this is the Queen of Cups. But all right, and then, so why do they want you to reach out? We also have the Nine of Pentacles and the Engineer. I feel like this is someone who is trying to create a life of self-fulfillment for themselves. Let me pull some more cards because I'm not understanding that part of the message. So why do they want to hear from you? Four of Pentacles, the Magician. Yeah, this is someone who's definitely trying to create something in the material world, maybe specifically advancing themselves financially or career-wise. So what does that have to do with the viewer? We get Two of Cups and Knave, which is Page of Pentacles. I mean, I just feel like they care about you. They miss you. They just want to connect with you again. And I think they want, maybe they, with the Page of Pentacles, I feel like maybe they want to just talk to you about it, about what they're doing in their life. Like they feel like they care about your opinion, or they see you as being someone who's been very successful yourself in the material world, and so they just want to talk it over with you, in addition to having this emotional connection. Also, because we got this Prostitute and Thief before, again, my feeling is that they're trying to move past maybe more like negative ways of interacting with the physical world, or maybe more negative ways of surviving financially or materially. And they want to show you basically how far they've come. They see you as someone who's been pretty successful here. They care about you. They're glad that you've been successful, and they kind of want to prove themselves to you in a way. Like, well, I want to show them that I am able to achieve as well. All right, so let's also get some messages from the Love Bombs cards, what this person, I'm sorry. So we asked why do they want to hear from you, but let's also ask what do they want to say to you. Sorry, I almost skipped that part. So what does this person want to say to you? We get the Four of Wands. It's a nice card. What do they want to say to you? Four of Wands, Ten of Wands, and Queen of Wands. Lots of wands. Yeah. What do they want to say to you? I feel like they want to have happy times with you. They want to have like celebratory moments with you. They want to celebrate. I think with some of you, they even want to spend their life with you. And I feel like also they're saying, I feel like I've been a burden to you. So we have the Queen of Wands. You know, she's just over here trying to live her best life, doing what she does, being, you know, enjoying her life, being creative and expressive, expressing her opinions. And she's seeing you here as like the Ten of Wands, very burdened. It's like she or he, whoever this person is, they feel like they have been a burden to you, or that there's something about this connection that has caused you a lot of turmoil and a lot of pain. So part of what they want to say just is that I recognize that I caused you a great deal of burden. What else do they want to say? We get the Seven of Pentacles. Hey, Coco. The Seven of Pentacles, the Hanged Man. Kitty. The Seven of Pentacles, the Hanged Man, and then the Stars. You know, the Seven of Pentacles came forward in the first card, and the message, or in the first reading, and how I interpreted that, I think I'm going to interpret it in the same way for you guys, which is I've been waiting a long time. And with the Hanged Man too, like, they've been waiting an extra long time. I feel like this person also sees you as, you know, like you've been waiting a long time. And they feel like this has been divinely guided. This is so similar to the first reading, because they had the Seven of Pentacles with the, I don't know, there was some other card that made it seem like, oh, they had, from the Indigo Angels, they had a Divine Timing card. So, yeah, there's a similar energy here. They say it's been a long time. And they're trusting, you know, that, I feel like they're trusting that there will be some sort of reunion, and that, you know, they're trusting in the divine to bring this about for the two of you. Okay. All right, so now let's use the Love Bombs to see more about what their message is. What is this person's message to you? I admire your caring nature. I admire your persistence. And you brighten the day of those around you. So I feel like those messages are pretty self-explanatory. You know, with the Hanged Man and persistence, I feel like, you know, they've seen your struggles, and they just see you as someone who's persevered through, and persisted through all of those struggles. I feel also with this and the prostitute, the messages that I'm getting is that they see you as someone who cares about the people on the fringes of society, people who are in a low position in society, or who society looks down upon, like prostitutes and thieves. You know, and in a way that's very, I think, you know, whether they're Christian or not, they might see you as someone who's very Christ-like as well. Because that reminds me, you know, just of Jesus's approach to life. Prostitutes and thieves, it didn't matter to him. with the Queen of Cups, I feel like they really resonate with that as well. They're like, we're kind of similar in a way. We both can appreciate the goodness in everyone, regardless of what their circumstances are or what their pain has led them to. And then you brighten the day of those around you with the star. I mean, they see you as just a divine being of light, shining your light into the world in a wonderful way. And so since the song Malibu was the specific song that was coming up, I'm also going to look at the lyrics. I didn't do this for the first reading because that Trent Reznor album I don't think even has lyrics. But for you guys, we're going to look at the song Malibu. So she says, I always thought I would sink, so I never swam. I never went boatin'. Don't get how they are floatin', which is a cute lyric, by the way. And sometimes I get so scared of what I can't understand. But here I am next to you. The sky is more blue in Malibu next to you, in Malibu next to you. So, I mean, this is about someone I feel like who feels loved finally. They feel like they're experiencing true love. For a lot of you, this might be a romantic connection coming through. Whether it is or not, you make them feel very loved. And they also see you as someone who makes a lot of people feel very loved. And they really respect you and admire you for that. And then in the final verse, we are just like the waves that flow back and forth. Sometimes I feel like I'm drowning and you're there to save me. And I want to thank you with all of my heart, like the Queen of Cups with all of her heart. It's a brand new start, a dream come true in Malibu. So again, they're really feeling that emotional current that runs between the two of you, and it makes their world brighter. You know, like with the star energy, the sky is bluer with you in my life. Yeah, so... yeah, so that's wonderful. Yep, and so finally, let's wrap it up here with the Indigo Angels. A message from Spirit. This is a message from Spirit to you about this connection and also just about maybe the concept of reaching out to someone. Divine purpose, self-reflection, and believe in yourself. So this person really believes in you because they see you as the star. They see you as such a beautiful being of light. And Spirit is saying, you know, you need to see yourself truly as this other person sees you, this person who loves you and cares about you and wants to hear from you. With the Hanged Man here with self-reflection, I think they are asking you, you know, maybe not to reach out right away necessarily, but do some self-reflecting before you do it. Again, as we got in the beginning, it seems like whoever this is, they do want to hear from you, but at the same time, they're putting up a little bit of an emotional blockage. It feels like they think they've given a lot of emotional energy to this situation. They don't feel like they've gotten as much from you, but they're also not really seeing the ways in which you are or have tried as well. So it's just saying, like, do some self-reflecting. If you do reach out to this person, those are some issues that you probably are going to want to address with them. And so before you do that, you need to do some deep thinking about it. So don't rush into contacting them, I think is the message from Spirit. I feel like Spirit's also saying there is a divine purpose to this connection. And with the star card, yeah, I think that, you know, there's something to this connection that is divinely guided and that, you know, like the card says here, it has a divine purpose. With the rainbow, I think in, you know, a divine purpose to fulfill God's plan in some way. Okay, so I hope that those of you who chose this reading got something really good out of it. Let me know in the comments. I would really like to hear your all stories and how they relate to this reading, especially the way that this reading came to me. So it's interesting to know how this is reaching people All right, so, and then if you have not subscribed, make sure to do that so you can get my future videos. You may also want to check out my past readings to see if any of those seem to call out to you to be viewed. All right, have a wonderful day. I'm going to go ahead and move on to number 3. All right, this is reading number 3. For those of you who chose Nas, I gave you Power and the Citrine and/or the Citrine. So the decks I'm going to be using for this reading are these Carolyn Myers Archetype cards, the Indigo Angels Oracle cards, the Klimt Tarot, and then the Love Bombs Kindness cards. So first we're going to ask, well, we're going to look into more about who this person is. So some of you, just because you already know that there's a Nas connection, so some of you are coming into this reading already knowing who the person is who wants to hear from you. So that's fine. So for those of you, this part of it where we pull archetype cards, this may or may not have any pertinence for you if you already know who the person is based on the song choice. But for the rest of you, this is going to give you a better idea of who it is who wants to hear from you. And even those of you who already feel like you know, you may get some confirmation from these cards as well. So we'll see what happens here. So I've already pre-shuffled these. This is a ginormous deck. It's not easy to shuffle. So we get Servant, Samaritan, and Athlete. Interesting. So this person might be someone who's very athletic. Let's see. It says dedication to transcending physical limits, including handicaps, development of personal willpower, and strength of spirit. So someone who's strong in spirit may or may not be someone who's athletic, but whoever it is, they like to overcome their physical limits. So even if you wouldn't see them as an athlete per se, this is someone who challenges themselves in terms of their physicality in some way. Also, under the shadow attributes, it says false sense of invulnerability and entitlement. So this could be someone, for some of you, someone who kind of acts tough in order to protect their vulnerability. They don't want people to see them as vulnerable even when they are. Samaritan refines your capacity to help those who you would prefer to ignore. The shadow attribute, exacting appreciation and recognition for the help you offer. So this is someone who likes to help people who are in need. I would say this is someone who's pretty generous with their time and energy. This is someone who's willing to help and interact with people who also are different from them, with the Samaritan card I'm getting. So for servant, the light attribute is delight in serving others with a free and loving heart, which connects very much with this Samaritan card. Using the lack of money as an excuse not to move forward with life. With the Samaritan, I think this is someone who probably doesn't have that issue. I think this is someone who likes even to help people who are, maybe experiencing hard times financially. Again, this is someone who gives very freely of their services. They help people out when they're in need, even if it's someone who's very different from them. It might be even someone, for some of you, it might be someone who's involved in some kind of occupation like, like a firefighter or an emergency medical an EMT, that kind of thing. Yeah, so I feel like I was getting something else there too, but I can't think of what it is. But yeah, someone who likes to be in service to others. I feel like this is someone who has a kind heart. Personal trainer or someone who works in gyms, helping people, helping people to achieve their own goals, serving people in that way. That might also be a part of it. Okay. Also, I am getting like this might be someone who is very physically fit or good looking themselves, but they don't look down on other people who are not like that. You know, they understand that everybody's different and that, you know, everyone has their own issues or challenges in life. Again, this person might even have their own physical challenges in some way. But yeah, so they can be generous to people also in the way of just accepting people for who they are. And especially accepting people, again, who just are not the same as them in some way. All right. So that's more of the information about who this person is. I also want to ask, why does this person want to hear from you? Why do they want you to reach out? I feel like I'm not getting the cards. Okay. We get the Knave or the Page of Pentacles, the Knave of Cups, and the Queen of Cups. Okay, so why do they want to hear from you? It might be that they feel like they want to help you out in some way. The pages are usually wanting to offer something. So we get the Page of Pentacles here with servant. This is someone who wants to serve you in some way. Pentacles cards also are about being dutiful. I feel like they have a sense of duty to you for some reason. They have a sense of duty and they just care about you. So they want to hear from you because they care about you. I think they're concerned about you. They want to know that you're doing okay. And I feel like they just really love you. They just love and care about you. So the message of why they want to hear from you is pretty simple. They care about you. They want to be helpful to you. And they feel a sense of duty. All right. Let's see if there's anything else, because that was really straightforward, which is nice, I guess, but it's just not typical of tarot. So why do they want to hear from you? We get King of Swords, the Chariot, and the Tower. Wow. So either they or you are someone who either has experienced some real chaos. For some of you, someone involved here may have been in some kind of car accident or something, I'm getting, that may have caused some kind of physical limitation or disability. Not for everyone, but for some people there might be something like that maybe they want to talk to you about. But otherwise, this could just be some kind of major change has happened. A change that maybe was very difficult but brought an important breakthrough to them, or they see you having that kind of like life-changing experience, and so they want to connect with you, maybe to be of service to you in whatever it is they see you going through. Yeah, we get King of Swords with the Chariot, which is indicating a car. There might be a car accident. I really feel that for some of you, there's some kind of car accident involved. And that has something to do, or an issue with a car or something like that. Not for everybody, but for some of you, that's going to make sense. And they want to connect you with something related to that. But if not a car accident, something that was kind of traumatic, definitely life-changing. Let me get a clarifier here for the King of Swords. King of Swords, Queen of Pentacles. Why do they want to hear from you? I don't know, I'm still not understanding what that is. And then Five of Cups. There's some sense of regret with the Five of Cups. Let's see, and I think this is just indicating your personality. So if you feel yourself being kind of either a King of Swords or a Queen of Pentacles energy, and see them as representing the other card, I think they're just saying, you know, they know that the two of you have a significant connection, and there's some level of regret here. Might be some level of regret that had to do with some sort of chaotic, unexpected, tumultuous, life-changing event. I also see this King of Swords here looking to the Chariot. So they're looking to move forward in life in some way, and And I think they also see you needing to move forward in life, and they're just feeling like you need each other. Maybe there are regrets that pulled you apart before, but they're saying now, like, we really need each other. And that's why they want to hear from you as well. It's not just that they want to serve and help you. I think they are seeing that both of you need each other in order to move forward along your life's journey right now. Maybe even to move forward and cope with, again, whatever this tumultuous event was. Maybe traumatic event. Because with the chariot to me symbolizes two people who have to be working in harmony in order to move forward in life. Just like two horses pulling a chariot, you have to be moving at the same speed and in the same direction. I feel like there are maybe some regrets here because perhaps there have been times when the two of you just weren't able to move forward together at the same speed or in the same direction. But they feel like you need each other now to help cope with some difficult situation that one or both of you is affected by. Okay, so that's what I'm getting for why they want to hear from you. And then also want to ask, what do they want to say to you? You know, through this tarot reading in a 5D sort of way. What do they want to say? We get the Knight of Chalices or the Knight of Cups, the Two of Swords, and the Knight of Wands. So 2 Knight Wands. The Knights are very activity based. So there's something they want to do or accomplish. To me, that relates back as well to the Chariot. So what do they want to say to you? They're saying, I think again, they're just saying we need each other. Like in this card, these two people need each other. The Two of Swords are about coming to greater peace. Maybe they want to have peace and harmony with you. They want, maybe they want the two of you to resolve some sort of conflict. But they just want to come together with you and discuss something. Let's see more about what this is about. 6 of Cups, they want to reunite with you. They care about you. I think they want to talk to you about the fact that they care about you. They want to make sure you know it. Also, I'm getting because they're recognizing, it could be there's something that happened in their life suddenly that just made them realize they lost something, and it made them realize that what they had lost, maybe what they lost is you, but whatever it is, it made them realize how precious life is and how important it is to let people know that you care about them. I'm getting Justice. So for me, that's just a confirmation that I hit the nail on the head with that message. Yeah, this is someone who's realized life is very precious. We don't have the rest of our lives to waste not expressing our care and concern for each other. Life is too short not to help people who need it. Life is too short to be in disagreement with people who you love. You know, what's the point of that? I feel like that's what they want to say to you, primarily. Let's also get some messages from them to you with the Love Bombs cards. I love you. Yep, they sure do. I feel it. I'm feeling the love. I admire your generosity. Well, this person is coming through as very generous themselves. So for them to say that about you, it seems very meaningful. Let's see. I don't feel another card wanting to come out yet. And now I feel like a bunch wanting to come out. Okay. I really appreciate your dedication to your work. So some of the occupations we mentioned before, well, I don't know, they're very dedicated to their work, but they also see you as being dedicated to theirs. And yeah, with the Two of Swords that we saw before, and thanks for being such a great listener, I feel like they miss talking to you and having you as someone who can listen to them and really hear them out. They feel like they have a good mental connection with you, I feel like. Let's just pull a clarifier for I appreciate your dedication to your work. We get the Three of Swords. I feel like they see you as someone who's done a lot of work to resolve heartache and pain and separation. So they see you as someone who's very mature, who's experienced a lot of spiritual growth. So they're appreciating your dedication to your spiritual work, your self-improvement. Okay. So those were beautiful messages. And finally, to wrap up the reading, we're going to get a message for you from Spirit about this connection. Well, not finally. I also want to look at the lyrics to the I Gave You Power song, actually, because it's going to be relevant for some of you. And okay, so they say, stay, learn something new, and apologize. I definitely get with the Two of Swords. Yeah, there are apologies that need to be made, and harmony needs to be brought back into this connection. So this is Spirit's message to you about reaching out to this person. This person needs to be in your life. Let me pull a clarifier for learn something new. We get 9 of Swords. I feel like that Spirit wants you to learn how not to be so worried about this connection. You are creating a lot of unnecessary fear for yourself because you're imagining and being paranoid about things that just don't exist. This person wants peace with you. They want to apologize. They want to help you. They want the two of you to come together in a harmonious way because life is too short. Life is too short for that. All right. And I do want to also discuss these lyrics from I Gave You Power, or just the general message from it. This song is very much about someone who's really been hurt in life, and because of that, they have hurt other people, and they are realizing that they've been hurtful to other people, and they don't want to be that anymore. But at the same time, this person has a lot of compassion for the people who have hurt them. Let me see. So how you like me now? I go blow. It's that shit that moves crowds, making every ghetto foul. I might have took your first child, scarred your life, or crippled power. I made you buck wild. So I feel like they're recognizing that they have within them this intense power to hurt people, and they know that they've hurt people, probably you, in some. Maybe the Tower card before refers to something that they did to you. But at the same time, so they're realizing their power to hurt someone. And they also are realizing how that changed you. I made you buck wild. I gave you power. So it's like, yeah, I hurt you. But that pain that I caused you to grow. So, they know that what they did was hurtful. It's not that they feel good about it per se, but they also know that we all come into each other's lives for, certain purposes. And sometimes part of that purpose is that we do cause each other pain that does lead to growth. With this learn something new, I think Spirit is underscoring that as well. This person has led to you learning more how to deal with pain and heartache. And let's see. There's another lyric here that I wanted to read out to you all. Let me find it. Okay. Okay. He walked me outside, saw this cat, cocked me back, said, "Remember me?" He pulled the trigger, but I held on. It felt wrong, knowing people are waiting in hell for him. He squeezed harder. I didn't budge. Sick of the blood, sick of the thugs, sick of the wrath of the next man's grudge. Yeah, so again, this is someone who, they're like, this person is trying to pull a trigger on me, and I could pull it back really quickly if I wanted to, because I've done that a lot of times in the past. That's what they're saying. I have reacted. I've been reactive in the past. But they're saying, I now have compassion, even for the people who have tried to hurt me. because I realize how much they're hurt. And I have compassion also for the karma, you know, that they are going to experience from their own actions. But this person's saying, I'm tired of this back and forth, getting back at each other, revenge type mentality. I'm sick of it, and I want to get out of this cycle. So, all right, so that's pretty much the message. I hope this was helpful to you guys. Like, subscribe, leave me a comment, and have a wonderful day.